Oh, you did find a stand?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Where'd you end up finding it?
At,
Because I told you I had looked a couple of Sprint places and they,
oh no,
like,
I
they didn't know
actually
what I was
got this
talking
at
about.
on Amazon.
You had to order. Yeah,
So what did you say?
I know what I was talking about. When I was talking about the stand.
No,
what
I was talking. I got that. Where are we going?
The last time he put it on our page, personal pages, and then I think we had to share it to our group page because it went from the connect. All of us are part of the connector, and that's what happened the last time.
It's Village Connected, right?
Yes. All righty, all righty. Well, welcome to another episode of Live Today Health Talk. And I am hearing some type of feedback, so I hope that we are coming through LC loud and clear. All right, this is Tiffany D in the house, Tiffany Daniel in the house with Rosa J. Hodge and Charlene Browning. And we are coming off another awesome week here with the Village Connector community. So, Facebook friends, if you have not tapped into our page yet, then give us 1 or 2 minutes so we can bring it up in our group page, Live Today Health Talk, so you can chime in with us today. For those that are listening to us from the Village Connector community, I just want to say to everyone, hello. Thank you for joining us today. So our disclaimer, as always, is we do not claim to be MDs, but guess what? We will share information with you that will increase your health, your wealth, and your well-being. How about that? So everything we share with you is public information. If you care to challenge it, then do so, because it is already public. All right. A shout out to our sponsors. Wow. After yesterday, ladies, I tell you, from Curves for Washington, Carrot Bars, TLC, My Econ, and Women Veterans United Committee. I tell you, we had a wonderful time.
It was really nice.
Wonderful time.
It was.
Wonderful time networking and putting all of that together.
Yes.
Putting all of our sponsors together in one room. How about that? In one room, and sharing with one another, sharing and allowing each other a chance to grow, giving us all food to digest, right?
It was an amazing time, and each presenter was excellent. I mentioned that I videoed everyone's presentation, and I have not yet downloaded it. However, I think Tiffany's presentation is on our Facebook page.
Oh, it is?
I think it is, and if it's not, it will be before we leave.
Okay.
But it is on my One Soul Purpose page.
Okay.
Because that's where
okay.
it's set from.
All right.
So I'm grateful, and it was excellent. It was really excellent. If you followed the instructions, of course, you can only present stuff. But if people don't do the work, then we have a problem. As they say, they have a problem.
Yes.
We don't. Because we're only
share
here
that,
to share it. That's it.
Charlene's presentation was on Periscope.
Ah,
Yeah,
very
I
good.
thought we had cut everything off. You know, we had agreed, okay, let's stay tuned in with our audience. So I didn't know mine went out, and I didn't know hers went out because I cut it off when we said that. But when I was looking, I showed it to her last night. So hey, y'all get a piece of the pie.
Yeah, you know, and you have to, you know, when we're on these networks, and even on Facebook, even if you decide to delete it, it takes a second for it to come on.
Yeah.
And someone sees it in that second. So be careful what you post.
Oh,
be
yes.
careful what you tape and go out there, because it instantly goes out there.
Yeah,
And it stays out there forever.
that is true. That is true. That's why we try to warn our young people to be careful what they put out there on social media, because it will follow you. Because you cannot delete it. It will follow you. So let's do a quick recap on last week, because we started talking about detoxing. But before I go there, I apologize. Our devotion. As creator, God knows what is inside each one of us, because he put it there. Whenever God speaks to you, he addresses you based on what he knows about you, not on what other people think they know. All right. So, the importance of detoxing.
Sorry.
Last week, we dropped some nuggets on detoxing. Would you ladies care to recap on some of the key things we discussed last week? Just one or two things.
Oh, we talked about the lemon and the
Yes.
cucumber, and also lime to put into your water. That will help also burn some of the fat is when you're detoxing.
Yes.
I think also I know we went over also using warm water in the morning. It helps with your getting your organs awakening
Yes.
when you're drinking, water. You can put water with lemon, or you can just use regular warm water. It all depends on your taste. Now with myself, I did try the peppermint oil, and then I put some spearmint oil in there too a couple times, and I used grapefruit
Okay.
oil and orange.
Oh, she getting some delicious water.
Yeah, because
going.
sometimes that water
Pretty
that water is just not, to me, it doesn't have a taste, but I don't know. Seem to me it do have a taste, but
All right.
If your water has a taste, then there's an issue with your water.
Oh, yeah, the plain water, right?
Right.
So,
If your water
yeah.
tastes like something, and I didn't know this until I went to St. Thomas Virgin Islands, and they, at that time when I lived there, and even now, they didn't really have a lot of city piping. So people would have to go to the cistern or build a cistern under their house that would
Okay.
catch the rain. And of course, because the traffic and then back then was not heavy, it's very heavy now. It's like being in Washington, D.C., clutter and as far as traffic. Yeah, period. I was like, really? But the cistern and the public cisterns, the water actually tastes like nothing. It was my first actual experience. And when I came back to D.C., I could taste D.C.'s water. Water is supposed to be tasteless, without taste. And most of us don't know this because we live in a city in the
it's
United States.
So much put in it to kill this and kill that, and so that it
well,
is.
that tells you that
drinkable.
water do have taste in. There is a taste, because I mean, if you think about it, if you taste something when you taste something, you know that there's a taste. But when you taste something that doesn't have nothing, that's still a taste. You got me?
Whoa.
You got me? It's still a taste. It's because you know a difference that there's nothing's there.
It's
Well, you know,
tasteless.
That's right.
I'm gonna tell you something.
There you
Don't
go.
start me now.
There you go.
Don't start me now.
There you go, right
Because
there.
let's take it a little step further, and this is about consciousness. We give names to everything.
Yeah.
We give names to taste and what we do, and all we're doing is basing upon things that we've done in the past. So we know what water's supposed to taste like.
Programming.
Our programming. Our consciousness has already programmed us to believe that it is either a taste or it's not a taste. It's either good or it's not a good. It's either right or it's either wrong. So we give name. But then remember this. In Genesis,
Yes, he
he
did.
said we give man the authority to name.
Oh,
Well, he already did that. Adams had already named everything, so therefore it's already done. We're just
Right.
saying though that basically water it has a taste, but it just tastes less.
So how can something now, this is a riddle, because it is. How can something have a taste and not, how can something taste like something and not taste like anything?
Because you
That's
have
that's what do they call those?
because you have taste buds.
But
And
if
that's
it-
when God gave you the taste buds, that's when you
Okay.
can determine what is, what's your taste like.
Well, that's a
You
riddle.
know, so
That's a riddle,
That's-
and you can
okay,
answer it
so-
any kind of way you
So
want.
Facebook family and friends, if you on Facebook, Periscope, wherever you may be listening in, chime on in.
Yes,
How
please.
can- repeat
Yes,
that again.
with
How
How
us.
can
can
something be tasteless and have a taste still?
All right. All right.
yes, yes.
Because, well,
English
we go to
slang.
chemistry
It's
then,
getting
and
cold
we know
in
that
here.
something is in there to make up that water. But hey, does that, because it's not matter. So it's not matter until we
It's a
get the
combination
liquid,
of
right?
H,
Yeah.
hydrogen,
H2O. Mhm.
Oxygen, and 2 parts oxygen. That's what water
Yes,
is.
yeah.
H2O.
So,
So, and
therefore,
all of that is supposed to be without taste.
Taste,
if it's
yes.
clean and pure. So if
That's
it's not,
those
and
five
it's so
senses.
funny that you talk about that. We should bring this up
Mm-hmm.
because I was just looking at a video that a friend of mine posted on my page, which I've seen before,
Mm-hmm.
about the test of water.
yeah.
And it came to me. I said maybe we should do that test one day
Okay.
to show people the difference of the water.
Mm-hmm.
That even that he didn't do. I don't think he didn't name the waters. He just tested them, he covered them up. But before he had named the waters, and I was thinking, even though we proclaim this, the ability to do alkaline water with a higher pH, is it truly what it is? Is it really that? We're buying it from a company. Is it really that?
We partake in.
So, of course, that was, now, let's not get it twisted here.
We ain't
Of
twisting
course,
nothing.
with every product, with every scientific finding, they're always trying to sell you something.
Yeah.
So
Theory.
of course, right. So of course, his pitch was to buy this picture that actually did what water companies say they do. So, and I know that part of that is what you drink your water out of too, because everything has particles and everything actually act with everything, chemicals. So if you're drinking out of a plastic container or even some glasses, they don't do it. But this particular picture was talking about copper and ionization of your water.
But
So we're that's a topic for another,
so we'll
Yes,
have
that's
to
another
put that
subject.
on when we have upcoming. Then I'll have to make sure that I write that in for upcoming, because right now I have something else there for upcoming. So we'll put it down there so we'll remember to do some more
And
research
just so
and be
that
ready to
people-
come back on it.
Yeah, just
Right.
so people won't think I'm being rude. I'm really not. I'm really trying. I'm actually putting us out there. So
I
please
think-
excuse me for not looking at the cameras, not being in total connection, but I will. Just give me a second.
Yeah, family, I think we did share. Once we come live, then we go down the list trying to invite our friends or trying to put it out there so that each one of our pages has access to the show. So I'll be going through my drill in a little bit too as soon as we get rolling here. So, new topics. We talked about this weekend, and I think some people hit me on my Facebook page, and they really want to know when we can come back or when we're going to do another one. So this weekend, we actually had a workshop on goal setting and financial strategies. And next weekend, we plan to do a workshop on pain management. So stay tuned or either look at our Facebook pages as the information for the dates and the times is forthcoming.
Mm-hmm.
And as we move further for today on the importance of detoxing, Charlene has shared some nuggets. Rosa, before I move on, did you have anything else to throw out there towards the importance of detoxing before we actually start getting into it?
Be careful what you eat. When you eat 24 hours, some of us, like me, I eat about 6 times a day, or maybe snacking all the time. But remember, you eat all the time, so you must detox all the time. That your body just absorbs all kinds of stuff. And the air that we breathe, we're always in traffic, all those metals, and everything is getting into our system just by breathing and eating and drinking. And it's some point you have to remember that you must detox, and you can't do it every 6 months. That's not enough, because what happens is your body holds that matter in you, and then your cells get clogged up and they can't reproduce, they can't release, and you become diseased.
So ladies, if we had to share 2 things that we could take away from detoxing personally, what would those 2 things be? While you were detoxing, what change did you see or feel within?
Well, with me, when I detox, the change that I feel is my stomach go down, and I'm more not full, but you kind of have I have room. You know, especially like in your clothes and stuff like that, you know, you can tell that there's some weight has been affected, you know,
weight loss.
But mainly my first effect is basically the stomach, you know, because, you know, that's where all the disease starts anyway, is in the gut.
All right.
Well, I think that, go ahead.
And I was going to say, and fluid detention. Also fluid detention.
What you looking for?
Your who?
My stand to put this one.
Oh,
you just said it.
I just had it.
Okay.
Okay. Well, while we digress and look a little bit, I know for me, I for mental clarity, because like Charlene said, you feel a little lighter there, so you know you've lost some things, like removed some toxins and so forth. So I get mental clarity when everything's flowing all right, and I know that I'm letting loose, like Rosa said, a lot of those toxins that have contaminated my body for a while.
Yes.
Then when I start cutting that stuff loose, you're not my partner no more.
Right.
And that's
loose me.
Yes.
Then I get mental clarity. On top of that, another thing I've noticed is we complain about frequent urination when we are detoxing. And a lot of times, for women, you know, I've never heard the men say this, but men, if you do this also, then please, if you don't mind sharing. But I know for us, we tend to try to hold ourselves because we have to release so often or excrete so often, and we will try to wait to go to the bathroom, and that causes 2 things: UTIs and yeast infections.
Yes.
So what's UTIs? I heard you say
Urinary tract infections or yeast infections. So I know that with the tea, don't have to worry about that either, because it does not allow that bacteria to stay either. Loose me. Let's go.
So
Let's go
you were saying tea. So which tea? Which tea.
Oh, I apologize. Not while I'm detoxing.
Okay.
Okay. So Rosa, you ready to?
Well, pretty much mine is about the same. I really, I think a lot of times people figure that if their belly gets fat, that they're just getting older, or they might get loose around. And this is men too. A lot of times men pretty much stay with that big belly because they just assume that they're getting fat.
That's bad tired.
But the real situation is that's fecal matter in your intestines. Yeah. And I said that before because remember your intestines kind of wrap around. They kind of go like this.
100 feet long.
And so it all gets packed in there. Mm-hmm. And so if it has no place to eliminate that, then it's just going to get bigger. So your intestines are growing and they have no place to go but out. And so therefore, it's full of dookie.
Okay, say that.
Just that, when
garbage.
people say, garbage, and so for me, the detox tea keeps my body slim and trim. It also tones your body. So as you're drinking it, it just doesn't do your digestive system. It actually breaks down in your cells to eliminate stuff that's in there. So you don't have flab. You don't have the stomach. If you do it constantly, eventually the stomach will alleviate. But if it doesn't, and I hear people say, "Oh, I'm going to get a," I can't even say.
What happened to you?
That's because when they tell me they do this, my heart just says, "Oh, I'm going to get a tummy tuck, or I'm going to get part of my stomach cut off, a band." And all of those things. If you find them are acceptable, but it's just like putting a Band-Aid on something that keeps it from healing. So it takes time. It did not take a year for you to get that stomach.
It sure didn't. I can attest to that.
Right. It didn't take a year.
Well, don't take a year. You look up and it's
and so
big.
It might happen slowly. For me, what I realized, and when I started really doing a detox tea was, and I'm doing it on a committed, everyday basis, all
we
day.
ain't there yet.
Was when I went on the scale, and I weighed 157 pounds.
We ain't on the tea yet.
Just detoxing.
We're just talking about
detoxing.
Right. I'm sorry. I apologize for jumping over.
Okay.
But that's what made me drink the tea.
All right.
To detox and get rid of that stomach that I had, which wasn't really big, because everybody used to say, "Oh, you don't have a stomach," but it's like anything else. You can't tell me my perception of myself. I am the only one who can perceive me for who I am, no matter what other people say. If I'm not comfortable,
excuse me,
then I have to do the work to change.
Yeah, because we are the ones that have to live in our skin.
Right.
And live comfortably.
That's all.
right.
So now that we've all shared, would you all mind, listening audience, share some of your reasons or share some of your personal benefits that you've felt as you have detoxed? And while you're sharing, we're going to move forward with preparing to help you with your pantry makeover. All right, because we're going to start talking about some ingredients that we've been using, like we talked about the water and the lemons. Well, today we're actually going to dive in to some of these ingredients within the tea that you keep hearing us whispering about
this tea, yes.
Or some of the other products that we've used that are right there in your pantry already. But do you know all the health benefits of those items? So we're going to discuss some of the herbs and spices and even how easy it is to obtain them because they're right there in your pantry. So let's start giving your pantry a makeover and bringing some of those items forward so you can start using them. How about that?
Well, I have a little something to say about that.
All righty.
Yes, you can make over your pantry. but it's important to find out where you're making it over from.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a cabinet of spices and teas, unless I've looked at the expiration date, and most of us don't.
Yeah.
We keep
Oh,
those,
yes, that's
we keep
important.
those spices and those herbs and those teas forever, and most of them don't last forever.
Nope.
So I tend to do things like go to Blue Nile or to a natural place to buy my herbs and store them myself. And it's best to store them in closed jars or jars that are not clear. And the reason why is because light diffuses everything.
So the dark colored jars.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and
So
I
the
love
sunlight won't.
or
Or
put
light
it
won't kill it off so fast.
or make sure that you keep them in your cabinets, not on those shelves. They look pretty. Don't get me wrong. When you have those spice racks outside in your kitchen, they look good. But are they serving you well? I don't think so. But that's just me.
No, but you're absolutely right, because that's part of when we say decluttering. So when you're giving that pantry that makeover and you're bringing that stuff forward, now you can see it to use it, but look at it. Because when a lot of people, I've been in their kitchens and you go to get their spice and it's like all cruddy around it. The top needs to be washed off and you're like, do I want to use this? But that makes you think twice. How long has it been sitting there?
Right.
And how often is it really used?
Right.
And if we know that it's natural, that means it was live. So how long can it live? And we know also in the dark what starts happening if it stays too long.
Right.
So really, is it still beneficial? So when you're doing that makeover, remember some of those things. All right.
I think another thing that I'd like to throw out there is how long do you keep your tea?
Okay.
You know,
So we're going to move on to
the tea.
the tea. As everybody's been waiting on, because we keep mentioning it.
Well, you know, before you even started mentioning the kinds of teas that we have used,
Yes.
there are many detox teas out there.
Yes.
And I'm not denoting or saying how good or bad any one of them are. I think you have to personally try them.
Yes.
You have to be the decision maker on
For yourself.
what works
yeah.
for you.
Right.
Because green tea can detox you and sometimes that works for people. But does it work enough?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have clover tea, that might work for you. Peppermint tea might work for you. The teas that we're talking about have many different teas combined. So for a true, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I am not the expert, I am not the doctor, I am the user of these things. In my opinion, the combination of herbs to make a tea work better. It's like being in community, you tend to do things quicker. You tend to have things happen faster because you have support. Well, it's the same thing with cooking and herbs and all that. Your food tastes best when it has more herbs and spices in it than it does with just tomato sauce. You know, some people get that can and pour that tomato sauce on some spaghetti. Some people can eat it like that. No, man, I need me some oregano. I need me some
Right.
I need me some garlic. You know, I need me some onions and mush. Well, it's the same thing about the detoxing of teas and teas that you use. So I would suggest, and as I have been a testament to the tea that I use, is make sure the tea that you use is in community with other herbs, and also look up those herbs and those other leafy products in that tea and see what they actually do and that's the lead into. So what kind of tea are we talking about, y'all?
Well,
Alrighty.
well.
Well, we started off with the tea that we showed last week. Let me see if I have the bag. From Total Life Changes, the IASO tea.
Right.
Right, so that's where we started with. But oh goodness, we have. All right, We'll hold up a product here.
And that's the IASO
That's
tea.
the IASO tea. Yes. And now another tea that has been brought to our attention is the tea. Is it Davina? Yes, tea Davina.
Mm-hmm.
So these teas have similar products in them, but we're going to discuss the products today. And
You see.
all of them are natural herbs.
And organic.
Yes,
They
natural
both
and
claim to be organic.
and
And-
caffeine free.
And
caffeine.
vegan free.
And
I
that's
guess you
good
would
thing
call
because
it
caffeine
vegan.
actually, it's funny. There are coffee beans that do not have caffeine in it. But we are caffeine. United States is a caffeine country. Coffee is just, and coffee can be a detox also.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do have.
It just depends on what kind of coffee you're drinking.
So when we were talking about water earlier, this tea I found to be in the tasteless category also.
Yes, it is.
And I found that remarkable because I was like, okay, I'm drinking a tea that's going to cleanse my body. I'm not adding any sugar or fruit or anything to it.
Mm-hmm.
And they say it's the best tasting tea. Well, I don't find any taste in it. And when we tell people about it, we used to say, oh, it tastes like water. So how can that be?
There we go again. About that taste. Is it
Yeah, but
really?
it is really because I
does
think that,
water really have a taste? Here we go.
It is relatively tasteless. And I say relative because depending on how your tongue is, you can actually taste the taste, but it's not bitter. It's not strong. It's not. And the teas that they have in this are not bitter and not strong. There are some teas that are strong, like black cohosh is a bitter taste. Like
Yes.
ginseng can be a bitter taste.
Mm-hmm.
Tea, moringa can be a bitter taste.
Mm-hmm.
So there are herbs and teas that are don't taste good. Let me just say that. They really are hard to digest and taste-wise. But one of the things I find about the IASO tea, because that's the only one that I've ever used, it really is quite easy to put down 16 or 20 ounces of that tea quickly because it does quench your thirst. It does, it's just a great tea, and it works. You do eliminate.
Yes, you do. I mean, I found out within that week that you can start you would start eliminating. Like some people say, well, the first day nothing happened, but it tells you to take it for the 5 to 7 days, and then you get like 4 packs in that for that whole package, and it lasts you a month. So by the time the end of the month come, you will have detoxed.
And that's
you will
important,
have
too,
detoxed.
because most people are not committed to the process.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be committed to the process, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's eating more vegetables, eliminating sugar, but you have to be committed and consistent. That's the issue.
A commitment.
yeah.
It goes a long way.
It does, and that's with anything. And
Ladies, before we go on, I'd like to say we have some comments here. Teresa says, I keep my tea in canisters for freshness.
Very good.
And then, Dawn says she's drinking her tea right now.
I hear you, girl. I
All
left
right.
mine in the car.
And then Teresa chimed in again and says, I love caffeine free.
Yes.
The IASO tea is working. So I can't see who just made that comment. It just popped up. Oh, okay, Dawn did. The IASO tea is working for me. Been
Very
doing
good.
it for 3 days. All
Very
right.
good.
Okay,
Go ahead,
that's
Dawn.
Congratulations.
Keep it up. You'll be
Yes,
amazed if you start and keep it going for about a year or two. Just drink it like you drink water.
Yeah, make it
And
a
it's
part
still
of
part of
your
your
daily
life.
regimen.
Yeah.
All right.
that's what it's all about. Especially if you're having digestive issues. Those people that may be going through either Crohn's disease or have colon issues or even stomach cancer. I mean, this tea, because of the herbs in the tea, it has its benefits. And I think you have them over there, the benefits of the tea,
Yeah,
Tiffany?
I had a few here, so I'll share. Dawn says she's on a mission. All
I
right,
hear you,
now.
girl. Keep it straight.
So
Yes.
a few of the benefits I had listed
Dundee.
were, as we say, make it part of your daily regimen because it helps with irregularity. So it helps to keep you regular. If you suffer with like as Charlene said, Crohn's disease or indigestion or constipation, it will help you because who in our listening audience can tell us how many times you are supposed to eliminate per day? So we'll wait for that feed. And I'm actually using it to get rid of this guy I'm carrying around. Oh my goodness, Dawn. Okay.
Oh, you got another person with you, huh? I hear you. Say eliminate him. I hear you.
Yes. And then Teresa chimed in and says, with no sugar, sometimes honey, but mostly by itself. Yeah, because you have to watch your honey. We were talking about that. Was that earlier today or yesterday? It was like you have to watch the honey because it's not always. You got to make sure it's organic and natural. You got to watch the honey.
You got to read up on that honey too. We got to read up on that because GABA is better than that honey. Well, but I can tell you about them bees. I ain't gonna go into it right now, but that honey. Well, watch out for it.
It is recommended that you really use no sugar. And the reason why, and that doesn't matter, it doesn't matter what kind of sweetness that you're using. A tablespoon of sugar of any kind, whether it's GABA, whether it's honey, whether it's brown sugar, raw sugar, it does not matter because 1 tablespoon of sugar will shut down your immune system for 24 hours. What does that mean? That means that your body and everything that you're putting in your body cannot absorb it. So stay away from GABA. Stay away from honey. Learn to drink things that are sweet without sweetness.
Yeah,
because
I've gone hardcore.
I know. I put nothing in my cereal. I put nothing in my and it was hard with the cereal because I love cream of rice. So I had to do some other things. I had to use some spices like vanilla and cinnamon and nutmeg. But and it's just being careful because sugar also allows you to hold on to unhealthy fats.
That white sugar is deadly. Okay.
Cannot.
Yes, it is.
The white sugar is deadly. So, okay, helps. So the tea helps you absorb your nutrients, and that can only be because now that you're cleaning your gut, your organs are allowed to receive it now. So, I mean, that just goes hand in hand. Detoxify chemicals. Rosa talked about the chemicals, heavy metals. When we walk outside, what do we get? Free radicals.
There you go.
In the air. So,
there you go.
What else? Oh, healthy for your liver and your kidney function. Again, your organs. It burns fat. There's an ingredient in here that's a fat burner. Sustains energy. I talked about memory earlier. We talked about heavy metals. How about them parasites? I don't know if any of our listening audience has actually witnessed the elimination of parasites, but it is real. When people talk about it, I always think about the Matrix. You know, when they pull that thing out of his navel. Oh gosh. It is real, okay? So parasites, it eliminates them. How about acid reflux? How about even fibromyalgia?
That's a heavy
arthritis.
one. That pain of your joints. Because actually what it does is it cleans all that up. Inflammation.
And so much more. So much more. Okay, let's see what we have here. Oh, Teresa said eliminate the sugar. Okay, then she says, ladies, what about vitamins? And then I want to learn more on vitamin intake. All right, well, we are getting ready to dive into the ingredients of the tea for today, and we'll have to come back on another segment when we actually did a previous segment on vitamins and minerals. Yeah. So we will put that along with water on one of our next segments, Teresa. So stay tuned, all right? But let's see. For holy thistle, I always wondered what the difference was in holy thistle and blessed thistle. because I know people used to always, when I was counseling and I had people that were drinking, and I try to get them to stop drinking and talk about saving their liver, and I used to tell them thistle.
Right,
Thistle.
and I don't know if they talk about where it comes from, but most of these herbs come from a tree or a bush. So more, and I have not done the research, but there is a difference in what it does, and where it comes from. So
let's see if our literature tells us.
Right.
Yeah.
Does it talk about that, Charlene?
Well, you want me to go into the whole thing? Okay.
Well, let's start with
holy
the two
thistle,
questions that they asked about holy thistle.
Okay. Holy thistle. I'm gonna give you the holy. And this is I do the blast.
All right.
Because it's a lot on the holy.
See, I love when people just say, "You do this."
You're
Okay.
welcome, Teresa. Yeah, she said plants because you were saying, what did you just say?
I said that
goodness, I
herbs,
need some
they
tea,
come
y'all.
from they come from trees, bushes, and they do come from plants.
Plants, yeah.
But we're talking about the original source.
Okay.
So a lot of the teas can come from any one of those things. Some of them come from roots. Some of them come from sap. So they come from a lot of parts of the tree or the bush. I thank you, Teresa, for your input. Please, thank you.
All right. So, who's gonna go first? Holy thistle.
Yeah, she has
Okay.
a holy.
Okay.
Okay, so holy thistle is called Singbum moringa. Moringa. That's the Latin term for it.
Okay.
And it's basically to release toxins. It's been used for over 2,000 years, mostly in other countries, not the United States. It might have been done by the Indians when they were here, because they were plant and lovers of the universe, of the earth. It doesn't say that. It helps in jaundice,
All right.
gallbladder disorders,
Mm-hmm.
lactation problems, disorders in your spleen, parasites, mushroom poisoning, HIV positive patients protect their liver using this tea. An antioxidant, and it protects the cells in the liver by blocking of harmful toxins to the parts of your body. It removes them. It helps to rejuvenate your liver, stimulate the liver and gallbladder, which seems to be the basic part of holy thistle. It's a lot.
Yeah, it is. It has a lot. It does.
Holy
it does have a lot.
thistle tea twice a day can cure chronic headaches, and that's something that the IASO Tea says that's what they do. It strengthens the heart for constipation. It clears your intestines, your lungs, your liver, and your kidney.
All right.
It's given to mothers to produce good milk. I remember that when I was pregnant. I lived in St. Thomas. I remember them saying, drink holy thistle.
Because it's
I may have done
lactating
that.
also, yeah.
Because I was a breastfeeding mama for a long time.
All righty. That's the better way.
Yeah.
So it can actually, it's also good for girls entering into womanhood, meaning through cramps and that first
So puberty
cycle.
there.
Yeah. And this particular tea they use the stem and the leaves. And in Europe, they use this as a part of a salad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
Let's try that.
Yeah.
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 I'm about to-
Sprinkle
this
the.
is-
You
look,
know
I
when
was
you dry the
I was
bag
getting-
out.
I was going to underline your paper.
Go ahead. You go underline it. It's okay.
I'm like, oh, that's an important fact. I can
Yeah,
actually
so
use it in a
sprinkle
salad.
it.
And I'm not.
Well, you know the
I'm
tea.
not
But see,
right.
yeah,
You can
that's-
actually use the tea in a
right.
salad. You can dry the leaves.
Yeah.
You can dry the leaves and use it as
Right.
in your salads
'Cause-
or any of your foods.
Because
And
that's
that's
what we was doing
amazing.
anyway. You know, once we was finished, where we taking dry the bags. I know I got a whole lot of them at home.
Do you?
Bags that I dried out.
Bags,
Oh, you
Mhm.
should share them with
and
me.
Yeah.
then put it in your salad. I've put it over my vegetables
Yeah, I gotta
before.
remember to bring it.
So yeah, just about. But you know, this one really, I think we were talking about it, but it's a powerful antioxidant that may also protect the cells of the
Of your
liver
body,
by
yeah.
removing and blocking
Right.
the
That's the
entrance,
most important.
blocking the entrance of harmful toxins. Wow. And it's a purifier, helps circulate the circulation of your blood. You talked about the headaches. I was like, oh, no wonder is one of the ones good for me. And I think there's a couple of them that do some of the same things. But can you just imagine all of them together in one packed tea bag?
That's
You
why
know?
the tea is so powerful.
Yes.
And I think, go ahead.
So you have
Oh,
the
bless.
other one. Mhm.
Oh, the black thistle? The black thistle has been used traditionally for medicine as far as back in the early 16th centuries as an appetite stimulant, astringent, a blood purifier, a chlorretic bowel flow stimulant, digestion enhancement, increases your urine. If you have urine, I guess urine tract infection or something, I don't know. Also, it's a fever reducer. It's a memory improver, and also for menstrual flow stimulant, and that's salivation. Help me, teacher. Salivation.
Salivation.
That right there?
That means that your mouth gets watery.
Okay.
Some people don't have that issue. I mean, they have that issue. They just don't have saliva.
Okay.
Dry
Salivation.
mouth.
And that sounds
Dry
like
mouth.
because you're taking too much medication. Because
Sometimes.
medication,
Sometimes it
yeah.
is. And especially cancer patients.
Yeah.
Well, I
That's
know
one of their issues.
If I drink tea and the pollen burst,
Mm-hmm.
I'll get a case of the dry mouth because I haven't actually had my water.
Okay.
So that lets me know I need to drink straight water when
Okay.
that happens.
Okay.
And it's so
Because I
amazing
work
because,
out,
yeah.
Also, it cures smallpox. Also, let me see.
Smallpox, this stuff got to be powerful.
Yeah,
right?
it says
It does,
Yeah,
because I was
cures
just thinking, my
smallpox.
father almost died from smallpox when they
Wow.
had the smallpox. They had an epidemic
Epidemic.
here
And
in the
it's-
United States.
It's still used for flavoring in their Benedictine liquor.
Oh, I used to
liqueur.
love that liquor.
That
It tastes like licorice.
Really?
it
I
has
remember.
has cured
Okay.
what's it called? Mallory fever? Oh,
Is it
Lord.
malaria?
There you go, malaria. Yeah, I'm sorry, boy. I'm not, Anyway, malaria.
That's what we're here for.
Constipation, heartburn, poor appetites, cancer. It says used for cancer. Black thistle is used for cancer, infections, inflammation, gallbladder, and also liver disorder and cervical dysplasia and heart alignment and skin ulcers, yeast infections,
Yep.
diarrhea.
So this
Oh, wow.
this herb, and so now you've combined it too. But we have 7 more to go.
Yeah.
And look, we just covered.
Just a little bit.
Yes.
But you see how those two support each other because they were
Yeah.
talking about liver and heart and every,
Yeah.
Yes.
your ability to urinate. There are people out there that do not urinate.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know,
That-
do
and
not
kidney-
go to the
people with
bathroom.
kidney issues.
Yeah.
There you go, right there.
So I wonder
You
if
know.
this tea would be good for those people that are on dialysis.
Yes, I
You
think
know,
I
I-
think so.
To
I
flush
mean,
their
hey,
systems.
to help
That's
it.
what they're doing, right?
Yeah, because they sit
for
there
that
for
exchange.
hours.
Well, actually,
Blood
because of what they
transfusion.
do is take bad blood out and put new blood in. So I mean,
Yeah.
It's an exchange.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if they were drinking the tea,
Would they need to take that bad blood out?
No, because actually, I mean, hey,
it sounds logical to me.
yeah. I mean,
But again,
if-
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean,
not-
we're just
not
saying we are
doctors.
not doctors.
But
And
I
I
mean,
know-
what you got to lose? All you could
That's
do
right,
is
won't
try
hurt you.
and see
And,
what
and
happens.
also understand that if you take it to your doctor's going to say,
Probably no.
I
Some of
wonder
'em, yeah.
why.
Yeah, because they want to keep you in the pharmaceutical industry.
hey,
How much money he get for you walking in the door?
$500.
Look, and I it's so funny. I had to laugh.
Sorry, her Facebook fans.
I had the nerve. My eye doctor called me to remind me that I had an appointment yesterday. Oh no, Friday or Saturday. I mean Friday or Thursday. And I thought about that. And I thought about all the other times that I had gone to him. And his key word that makes me say I ain't going is, well, it looks like nothing has changed. And it looks like, and I can't guarantee you, or I'm not feeling safe if I operate again. So there's nothing I can do.
Wow.
And my end of thought is, well, why am I coming to you?
Right.
You know, do I need to come see you? And yes, you're good at what you do when you operate. You're an excellent surgeon. I understand that. But do I need to come to you? I don't think so.
Now, Teresa said something about, what about the staining of your teeth?
The staining?
Yeah, the staining of your teeth.
From the tea, or
I guess
asking to clear the staining?
I'm not sure. So Teresa, yeah. So
Explain
that
that,
one.
Teresa.
Yeah, come back with your question. And another one that's near and dear. Ginger.
Oh, that's my
I love
favorite.
ginger.
That's my favorite.
I love ginger. So ginger is good for. Is it on this?
On this one. That's my favorite, though.
No, this is persimmon.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Well, while you guys are looking on that one, I know that's another one that helps with inflammation. So therefore, we know Arthur is going to help us. So that's three that are going to help with Arthur, that buddy that wants to not, like as she said, getting rid of two men. That buddy that don't want to move out. Arthur, be gone.
Yeah, she came back and said some people think tea stains your teeth.
Oh, well,
now
this one is not staining because it's not, what is it, dark. It's not that dark, but if you're also doing your oral hygiene properly, then, and when we were talking about the pulling yesterday, you're flossing, you're pulling, and you're brushing twice a day, then it won't stain.
I've
it never stained. Yeah.
I've never really heard that it stains.
Right.
Not this
mostly
tea,
not this tea, and I really haven't had an issue with any teas that I've been drinking. I've been drinking tea for about since I've been 21.
Right.
You know, coffee drinkers.
Right. That's a different thing. We're talking about caffeine. That's what makes it stain. But tea normally doesn't.
Yeah.
Stain.
If it do something wrong.
Let me say this. I've never heard of it.
Right.
Maybe I need to research that.
It. Well, I know I have because I'm not a coffee drinker, but I know that I have had
coffee would do it.
That's when I was drinking like when we would go out, I didn't drink sodas, but I would get the Nestle iced tea or just drink regular teas. And you can see not so much the teeth, but inside the grooves. You'll see that little brown like residue in your teeth inside the grooves, and that's when I said, "Oh, okay, gotta go home and brush."
But that tells you something wrong with that tea.
Or caffeine. A lot of the teas have caffeines in them, especially the store-bought teas. I don't know why. Maybe it's to preserve the herbs that they put in it. I have no idea. But I know if you get fresh tea, and this particular tea, the teas that we're talking about, don't have caffeine in them.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't have.
Well, let's ask Teresa if she doesn't mind sharing, because she is drinking this tea, she said. So are you having the staining from this tea, or you had the staining previously?
She was saying
something else.
She said some people think. Some people think.
Well, hopefully we just cleared that
up. Some people think that tea was right. Now, but going back to your ginger, it said it also helps sore throats, headaches, and ulcerative colitis. And did you say menstrual? Okay, also menstrual and fevers, aches caused by flu. Me per se, I mean, I drink that ginger. I don't care what. I know that it helps inflammation with arthritis, because sometimes I'll be having some aches and pains. But I know that ginger works. It's kind of spicy, but
I love the fact that it's spicy. I'm a ginger fanatic. I like ginger snaps. Anything that has ginger in it, I just love ginger. I even get, I often wonder why they don't make those mints, because some of them are cinnamon, but they never have ginger.
Right.
I would love to
They
get
have the
a.
chewy ones.
Right.
Though.
Oh, really?
The chewy
Oh,
ones
and
you can buy.
those little grocery
Ginger,
store the moms and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I like that
Yeah.
in the ginger, the packs. But you can actually cut a piece of ginger and chew on that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I ain't tried that. Maybe
I used
try.
to do because now is this fact or fiction? Because my godmother, as soon as we would have the onset of a cold, she would go get that ginger root, cut it up and boil it in the water, the ginger root. So we didn't have no tea bag on the ginger root and stuff, and give us tea with the from the ginger from
The
it's
root.
not boiling the ginger. What's it called?
Steeping.
Yeah, steeping the ginger and.
Well,
give us the
actually,
tea
ginger
from
is
it.
one that you can boil, not a long time, but it doesn't hurt. If some teas you cannot boil because they do the opposite. They can let out toxins.
Really?
Like one of the ones that you cannot is mandrake. Mandrake is an herb that was in the Bible, and actually it is a sap that grows. It's either a sap or a mushroom that grows outside of a tree, and it actually is said to look like a man. But it's in a dangerous. You can steep it, boil the water, and sit it in there, but you cannot boil it. And that's the same thing for barks. You're not supposed to boil barks.
Yeah.
So how you fix your tea is a great thing. We just have to be careful.
So
But ginger,
she would give us that at the onset of a cold.
But
and
remember,
it would do away with the cold.
if you catch the cold or any kind of infection very early on, it's easy to eliminate. And ginger is powerful as far as inflammation is concerned.
It seems like it, because I know every time when I drink it, it makes my sinus be all stopped up. I don't know why it does that to me.
It does?
It makes but then after a while, it'll clear out. It's like it stops it up and then it'll just clear out.
I think it's going through the process
Of cleaning?
Yes,
Cleaning?
yes.
Yeah.
It's going through that process.
I said,
And
wow.
it's got a little fight there, a little struggle there. Yeah.
Maybe something going on with my sinuses.
But I used to not like to take it when she would give it to us, and I used to ask, could I put lemon in or something, because it would be so rough in my throat.
Cleaning up
Yes, it
that
would
that
feel
infection.
like thorns or something.
And that's why it's good for and when you have what's that you were just talking about? I can't even think of the name of it. Esophagus problems with your
acid reflux.
acid reflux. Yes, it's good for that. Gas is good for that. It's an amazing. Once again,
Get your ginger.
That's only how many? Wow.
Ginger, holy
That's
thistle,
only
and blessed
how many.
thistle.
Wow. Okay. So how about chamomile?
Chamomile.
that's my tea for sleep.
Yeah, that's right
Yes.
here.
So that's why I'm like, how does it? Because we all know it for sleep or relaxation. So how does it fit into this regimen here?
Well, it says it's used for internally or externally. This bittersweet herb acts medicinal as a tonic, anodyne, and anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, anti-allergenic, and a sedative. Chamomile tea can use to be treated for digestive disturbance, gastrointestinal spasm, inflammatory disease, or a gastrointestinal tract, and it treats colds and coughs, fevers, bronchitis. Contains a bitter constituent with a stimulant appetite for digestive secretions that help reduce influ. Okay, Lord, this is real wordy.
Ladies,
Okay,
so
so-
going down the list.
What's that?
Hey, Mr. Murray, Bill, he came back and said his wife buys the ginger mints, Rosa. So they do have them in a
Very
mint.
good. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna tell you. Thank you for reminding me, because when you go to the health food store, you can actually get them from Yes, because I've
Okay,
gotten
you
them.
Get the hard ones. Okay.
Yeah, I love that.
And
You
then-
know, okay.
I was gonna say, Jerome,
Thank you.
With the chewy one, she says it opens up the nostrils for sure. So when you were saying that, when we say it's got a fight going on, it's opening you up. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for sharing. Thank you.
I'm trying to anti-spasmodic.
Thank you, Teresa. Also,
It helps with nausea, heartburn, stress related.
Now,
Diverticulitis,
Ooh, diverticulitis.
Yeah.
Wow.
bowel conditions. Oh, this is a whole lot.
Yes, it
And
is.
I only
Yes.
use it to sleep.
That's what I said. How does it fit into this regimen?
Yeah.
Because
I just
we all know
love
it for
it.
calming. Yeah.
Stomach aches,
Wow.
diarrhea. And now, see, isn't that amazing that this particular herb helps with diarrhea, which means that we've talked about 4. They all do something with the bowels, but this one stops diarrhea, which is different from having a flow.
Oh, you gotta mark that one.
And you know what? That
we
also
gotta know
sets
that.
it aside from most of the other detox regimens, because that's the first thing people complain about when you tell them to use a tea or something for detox. What do they say? It's not going to have me running to the bathroom, is it? Or it's not going to, be uncontrollable. I'll wait till the weekend when I'm going to be home. So that's
Right.
key. That's a key ingredient there that says it's safe. And we know it's safe already, but for anyone else that wants to do that detox, to let them know it's safe, because we know, but we always say it acts different in everybody's body. But that ingredient there, or that herb, helps that right there.
I
So
love
that's
this.
key. Okay, share. She said, I love this. You've already
so,
taken this, so you already on track. It does help with insomnia, though, you guys. You heard us say it helps for sleep. So for those of you that may have insomnia or dealing with that sleep apnea, we can tell you some other things, but
So let me say this, because a lot of people use senna as a detox or to clear out their intestines. And senna is an excellent herb, because before I started using this, senna was one of the herbs that I used I didn't know anything about detox, but to eliminate. So I guess I was detoxing before I became knowledgeable of what that whole process is. So on here, and Charlene just took my piece of paper.
I'm sorry.
Teresa, I'm going to get to your question in just a minute.
I know.
Okay.
Oh, so this is about mala.
Yeah, it
Oh,
goes over
it went to another
Yeah,
one.
it went to
Marvel.
another. Right.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
So I apologize.
So we got to get to that one next then.
I thought we were on
Okay,
Kelly.
and then Teresa's
Yeah, 'cause this
asking
one's
us about
This is
so
no,
why
you
do
got
people
Merv
have
right there.
acid reflux? So we'll let Rosa finish with the chamomile, and then we'll get to your question.
Actually, I am
okay?
finished.
Oh, you were finished?
Oh, no, I'm not really, but I don't see that. Yeah, I am.
Oh, that's this one.
And then my Facebook
You
page
can
is circling,
raise
so
it.
I don't know
Yeah.
how slow I am at reacting to, or any of us are at reacting to your questions. But that acid reflux, again, from your digestive system. When you eat food, and again, we talked about your organs
Crohn's
being
disease.
clogged. So if your organs, if the nutrients can't get to your organs and your food is trying to be digested, then that what is it that's released, the acid and stuff that's released from your food, it can't go down, so it backs up into your esophagus. Okay, so then a lot of people may even burp it up, and it burns in your throat, and it can start deteriorating your
Right.
esophagus.
Right.
So that is normally a digestive issue with the acid reflux.
Which there are other herbs and products that we have that will eliminate that too. But drinking this tea is so easy. It is just
It's too
easy.
easy. Too
It is.
easy.
But you know what I find it, and what I truly believe is that the natural remedies are easy anyway.
Yeah.
It's just the commitment to stick around and do it long enough to see a result.
So we are our biggest problem.
Pretty much. But isn't that what humans do? We have that free will.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I used to think that, I used to say, Lord, I'd love to be just a tree. You know, You just tell me what I'm going to do, and I'll bend that way, and tell me what I'm going to do, and I'll bend that way. Or be a bird. They don't ask questions, or not to our knowledge. They just do what they do. Automatically.
We
We're
have
a
to
whole.
make things so complicated.
We are a whole nother being.
So now, what was the one you were looking at? You said
I was
the
looking
Malva?
at Malva.
Malva
Yeah.
leaves. Okay.
Yeah, I was looking at Malva. And Malva is basically one of those.
You're welcome.
Malva is
I used
a
to say
tea
thank
that
you.
thank you, sweetie. Thank you. I love it. Malva is one of those family trees. I mean, it belongs to a family of healthy herbs. It's called Chinese Malva, basically because that's where it's grown.
Mm-hmm.
It belongs also to the family of marshmallow and hibiscus. And we're going to actually get to marshmallow because marshmallow is actually in this.
Yeah.
Hibiscus is not. Hibiscus is also known as.
Tread there carefully.
I'm telling you,
Tread
Lord,
there carefully.
Lord have mercy, and I love this. Oh, I'll come back to it. It'll come to me because I make this all the time with hibiscus. It's a Jamaican drink.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody out there is Jamaican. You help me because I love this drink, and it's made with. But that's another story. When I come to
tread there carefully.
I'll come to it when it comes back to my mind. But anyway, so this particular, it's a very nice flavor. It's a very great flavor tea. It's compared to senna. And it's even used in traditional medicine.
Wow.
It soothes the membranes of the digestive system.
Mm-hmm.
It's a heavy hitter.
Yeah, it is. It's it soothes all of your cells, softens irritated tissues. It eliminates mucus, diuretic. Some of those words I'm sure you're not accustomed to. And one day we'll go through the vocabulary of these words that we're using. But right now we're just reading from the paper, and if we can add to it, that's fine. It stimulates your bowels. It also helps in frequent thirst, retention of fluids, which is one of the things that the tea allows you to alleviate water.
Mm-hmm.
It helps diarrhea. So therefore, if it's, all these herbs and all the herbs on the market, that's the one thing that they do.
Mm-hmm.
They actually either turn your, allow you to eliminate soft and easy in a, Dr. Oz did a show on bowel movements and the colors of bowel movements and what it meant. So,
I
and
alluded
some
to
of
that last week, remember?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah.
it depends
Some
on
of the colonics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
the
you know,
colors of your stool.
dark, light, heavy,
Yeah.
float.
So, but
Yeah.
a lot of these,
Sink.
yeah, I was saying that most of these marketable products actually come and stem from they take you through the diarrhea stage, where it's just big watery like a baby's stuff. But this doesn't. So I'm grateful for that. It's good for treating your stomach issues no matter what they are. Irritated bowels, that's Crohn's disease, conditions of your spleen. Chinese malva leaves are expiratory. You can use them to gargle, to soothe sore throats. So you probably can do the same thing with this tea.
Mm-hmm.
I said it's got to be a heavy hitter because it's got IBS and bronchial irritation on here. So with bronchitis, I can understand because you mentioned
Gargling.
and inflammation, and with the mucus. I mean, what is bronchitis? But mucus in your lungs. So, but for irritable bowel syndrome, IBS.
Isn't
I'm
that
like, wow.
isn't that also
Right.
Crohn's disease? Is that something?
Yeah,
It's very
that's-
similar.
Yeah.
It's very
Right.
similar.
So,
That's why I said it's a heavy hitter.
Yeah.
And
so now, the one thing that I did not know
mhm.
is that senna is marva leaves.
Okay,
Senna-
AKA. All right.
Senna
so,
is marva leaves.
but you know,
And so it
Interesting.
also helps with stomach cramps. That's probably why this tea does not cramp your stomach.
yeah.
Mm.
So I wonder if it's present enough. Nobody answered my question yet on elimination, the proper amount of times. But I see that William did come back and help us out with the acid reflux also, because he says it comes from a lot of acid in your esophagus. Yes, and that's why I said when you burp it up and it sits there, then it deteriorates your esophagus, your throat, basically.
Right.
You know,
Right.
but let me scroll back down. You have to dilute your digestive system by drinking water before every meal. See more. So then he also says, Teresa, then he goes bringing in the chlorophyll, and I know this tea. One of these items.
Yeah, we
that
just talked
William-
about that in
these
one of
items
those.
has the chlorophyll.
Matter of fact,
in
wasn't it the blessed?
Bless
Blessed
this.
thistle, the blessed thistle.
Thistle. So
Yeah.
Teresa, you're already getting the chlorophyll because it's in one of the products, but whether it's enough, you know, everybody's body is different. So thanks,
Also, you
William,
remember
also.
chlorophyll comes from green leafy
Green
anything.
leafy,
And these are green teas.
Yeah.
So even though they may not mention it in this particular case, it's there
Yes.
because it's made from a tree, and a tree produces that. It's made from a bush. It's the leaves. So it comes from the ground. It comes from the root. It travels up to the leaves. And if the leaves are green, you're getting it.
And then Jerome or Arlene, I'm not sure who replied, but the spans, such as
Okay.
fried food and soda. I know I stay away from soda
Yeah,
because of the acid, but fried foods too, because normally that grease it traps your again, it clogs you there and traps your food
Clogs your
from going
arteries too.
down.
That's why
So
heart
when
attacks.
it's trying to get into your digestive system. So it's just like you got that little pipe, you know, the open pipe right here going to your stomach. So anything in between, grease, when it's cold, that's what we talk about room temperature water and stuff. When it's cold, that grease going to clog up right in here. So when you start getting that achy feeling here and gas, and sometimes people feel like they're having a heart attack and find out it's just gas, you know, you got something clogging there. And when the grease and stuff starts, your saliva can't break it down the way that it's supposed to. So that acid sits there and it builds. And next thing you know, in order for it to pop, what it does is you burp. And then you get that acid reflux. So it's that digestive system.
You have to also remember that the foods that you eat attach to cells in your body. So they're attaching to the
Yeah.
they're attaching to the plate and forming and clogging up the plates in your stomach, in your esophagus, in your intestines, and they just hold tight. They just hold tight, and that causes all kinds of stuff going on. What page are you
So-
on, Tiffany? Are you on your page?
Yeah.
On your phone?
Oh, you know what? Am I? I don't know.
Well,
I
I'm on-
plugged up.
Yeah, I'm
I just
well, I'm
wasn't
from the
sure if I'm
community on the community
or
page.
if I'm on mine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the next herb?
So was that Malva?
That
So
was-
we're
she
going
talked
to
about
marsh.
A marshmallow?
Marshmallow.
Mm-hmm.
Is marshmallow over there?
It certainly is.
Okay, go
You
right.
can read that.
Okay, my turn.
Pass the wine.
All right, marshmallow was used for ancient Greek to remedy for bruises and bleeding, and is a mild laxative.
So external and internal.
Right,
Mhm.
and is also used as a Europe for indigestion and diarrhea. The marshmallow root or leaf was traditionally used to soothe, support the intestines. It also is enriched with calcium, zinc,
All
iron.
those vitamins. Excuse me, Teresa. There's some vitamins there.
Yep. Sodium, iodine, vitamin B-plex, and the pantothenic acid. I think I'm saying that right. It has a high in herbs, and also it has marshmallow and marva leaf in the same family.
Mm-hmm.
And it also helps relieve coughing and irritated throat. It also helps with a remedy of respiratory tract. irritation of cough, bronchitis, and congestion. These herbs are just so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
It also has become slick when it's used to expose to fluid. It's a resulting a slippery material that coats the lining of the mouth, throat, and stomach to relieve irritation and controls coughing associated with the respiratory conditions such as smoker's cough.
Say that again.
Smoker's cough.
No, not that part.
Okay.
Say that whole sentence. What does it do?
The resulting slippery materials coats the lining of the mouth, throat, and stomach to relieve irritation and controls coughing associated with the respiratory conditions such as smoker's cough.
So now there's another herb that does that. It's so if you just use marshmallow by itself, the water will become slippery.
Mm-hmm.
So the residents from it. So slippery elm is one of those. I wonder if they do the same thing.
I was thinking aloe vera.
Yeah, well, aloe vera.
Aloe vera is good. It's kind of bitter though. It's kind of very bitter.
In the islands, they take and cut slivers.
Yeah, when you cut the slither, we used to do that for colds too.
It's an amazing.
It's
that
gooey.
is
I
amazing.
wonder if it does the same thing in your throat. But Teresa says, I wonder if my phone on the charger. Excuse me, but
She said, "Isn't that the way?" She said, "Isn't that the way you drink tea?"
Here.
She says, "Do you think your doctors tell you all this?"
Oh,
1,
no.
2, 3, ladies.
No.
Thank you.
No, not at all. Doctors
They
don't
do
want you to
not
know
do
these
that.
things. That's why they're trying to kill most of them off. Not every doctor is that
You
way.
know what you need to stop.
Not all doctors.
No, you didn't say that. Did you say that for real?
No, but I'm gonna get back to this marshmallow. Anyway, it say, for example, also marshmallow has been used to treat sore throats and alleviate heartburn, and was originally used to make candy-like medicine. What you call it?
Lozenges?
Yeah, lozenges.
Oh, you remember?
Yes.
How many of you remember St. John lozenges?
Yes.
I don't know if they're still on the market. I know they're not.
They might be. Yeah.
I haven't seen them, but I used to love those things.
And it says it's also an anti-infective, immune-boosting, diuretic property.
Whoa.
British Herbal Compendium. The use for marshmallow is listed for gastro. Ooh, Jesus. Help me.
Toxin.
No, where is it? Right there. What's that mean right there? What's that?
Gastrointestinus.
Okay. It helps.
That's
Yeah.
a doctor term. And I'm going to tell you what. It probably just means gastritis.
Gastritis.
You know.
Yeah, because they're using all these big words, and I'm just
Diuretic properties.
it's messing with my vocabulary right now.
I wonder if they use it with Pepto-Bismol.
Then you can.
You know, remember that a lot of these things that are on the market actually start with the natural-based herb, and then they just combine other things.
And it also softens and irritated skin. It helps remedies for cuts, wounds, boils, burns, and varicose veins.
Okay, so let's go back to one of the things that I heard about calamine tea.
Mm-hmm.
Chamomile. Okay, we're going to go back.
Chamomile.
Okay.
One of the things it says it can be used internally and externally.
Right.
This one probably can be used internally and externally. So what does that mean? That means that you could probably take this marshmallow and take this calamine, put it in a cheesecloth, wrap it, heat it in some hot water, and put a warm compress on those things. Or you can actually put it in hot water and bathe in it.
You know what?
There you go.
Not Dr. Who's the other natural doctor I was listening
Sabi?
to at one time? Not Dr. Sebi. It was another, but he was talking about compress, and you can lay
That's
right
the
on
biometric, the health doctor be on TV. That
and
one.
you can lay it right on
I
your
can't think of his
stomach.
name.
You know who else was good, who had those, if anybody remembers the Back to Eden book.
Yeah.
You guys remember that?
I think I
They-
have that book.
The Back to Eden was my first delve into natural living. And his book, they have a larger book. His son or son-in-law has expanded the book. But in that book, he was famous for hot soaks and compresses, and he has recipes for them. So when I was in St. Thomas, there's a recipe in there for pain.
Mm-hmm.
And all it is rubbing alcohol
Mm-hmm.
and cayenne pepper.
Mm-hmm.
And so you set it and turn it over a couple of times
Couple
during
of
the days,
times,
and for
yeah.
2 weeks it just sits.
Mm-hmm.
But you're talking about alleviating pain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, people used to come to my door so that they could go through the process of me having, and I wasn't into making money. It was just something that I did.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I could do that now. They can find it right in the Back to Eden book by Kloss. His last name is Kloss.
Well, which reminds me, I said it in the beginning, but halfway through, next weekend at the Curves in Fort Washington, we will be doing pain management.
Yes, with essential
With
oil.
essential oils. So,
Mhm.
and,
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was going to say, Teresa had asked,
Yeah, about the
do
tea.
you think doctors tell us information? We said no, but then William came back and said no, because doctors are pharmaceutical educated, not holistic educated. Then Teresa asked, what is the key lesson he learned?
Why don't you answer that? What is your key lesson learned?
Because William came back and said, learn and study holistic remedies. So
She also said something about using the tea with the oils, and I know
She did, I
we
think,
do
a
do
little
that.
bit
We
back.
do
Mhm.
that
You put
also.
oils on it. Because we
But you-
talked about the juniper berry on your
Right.
tea bag.
Yeah,
for,
but you only put like one drop of the
Right.
essential oils on
And
the
if
tea
you
bag.
put that on the IASO tea,
Mhm.
you could do it, but
you
why?
need to,
Right, because you
yeah.
have
You know,
all
you
these
don't
different
really need
herbs
to.
in here.
But if you're drinking a regular tea bag from the store bought, then yes, you can. But you can also now buy herbs and buy the tea bags to put the herbs in.
Yeah.
So that's possible these days for all us
Still
natural
putting them in
buffs.
the bowl.
She
Yeah.
asked also about cinnamon. Cinnamon, now the essential oils that we have, cinnamon is kind of like a hot oil. So you have to be very, very careful with that.
So what
But
does that
that's with
mean
the
to be a hot
oil.
oil?
The hot oil meaning that you can burn yourself. with
It
it.
also means that your sugar, if you have an illness, it may lower your sugar. You have to be really careful. But cinnamon is an excellent herb for detoxing. It's also an excellent herb for addictions.
Cinnamon,
And it's also one of the go-to oils for diabetics
yeah,
Yeah, it
because
is.
it
And
helps
weight loss.
lower
and weight loss.
your
Yeah.
sugar. It will help with your blood pressure. Then we're not talking about the oil. We're talking about the cinnamon itself, the spice. So it does
Okay.
a lot. So if you put some of that, yeah, and then William
But
says
you
it's
can
great for
use-
your system. Yeah,
You can use the oils because
Yeah,
I
you can
use them.
the oil.
I cooked. I put cinnamon in my coffee,
Mm-hmm.
and when I run out, I use my cinnamon oil,
So use
just a
your
drop.
oil, yeah.
You know, and
Oh,
what
that's
I
great.
normally do is I would mix it with the coffee because I use
Mhm.
ground coffee. So I'll put like a drop in my ground coffee and then just make the coffee
Right.
But I
and do
know-
the same thing for the tea.
I've seen people with type 2 diabetes do that real fast. Oh, give me some cinnamon. If you can't get the candy, then they get the cinnamon. Does it have any effect on type 1?
You know, everything. It's not going to change my experience, so they say. What I have not done the survey of what works best.
Okay.
I guess it all depends on the person, right?
You know, type 2 diabetes can be eliminated. That's the thing that I know.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I ask for is the rejuvenation of my pancreas, my spleen.
Yeah.
My liver is in excellent condition. But one of those two things, and then I refuse to let them cut me open to find out which one.
Right.
Experience.
I don't
But now
blame you.
let's do this. Let's say something. I remember when I was in high school, you know, and doctors are always doing stuff. So we're talking about 1971 or 2. And doctors had come to the conclusion that the spleen didn't do anything for the body. So
No, we
they
talked
were,
about that
we have,
in a yeah,
we have.
okay.
And so they were going around
taking them out.
taking them out.
Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
And I thought about recently about how many people did they give diabetes to.
Diabetes, because they removed it.
Yeah, so it takes all three of those organs to produce insulin.
Wow. Can
So-
anybody else in our listening audience add on to that, or
I
if
don't
you
know.
if you had your spleen removed and then you did later come back with type 2 diabetes, if anybody out there has lived through that.
Chime
No,
in.
it's not hereditary. We know that diabetes, your diet isn't hereditary either. That's why we're talking now, so we can make those changes.
Right. That's a society did
So
that.
what did they
But
say?
but
I
what
don't
about
know why I'm not getting the feeds.
What about-
said diabetes is not hereditary?
Yes,
Diet
I'm
is.
not getting the feeds.
what about the next one? Because we had
Yeah.
papaya and we
So
had
again, then
myrrh.
our time is running out, so let's see. If you have any more questions, please send them. Again, hopefully our feed is not going too far behind. But papaya.
I love papaya.
Yes.
Period. And before we get into the herb of papaya, did you know that papaya, the
The fruit? Mhm.
can be used for a lot of different things also.
Oh, okay.
So the fruit itself can be cooked to soften meat.
Mm-hmm.
You could actually rub it on.
Oh,
You could
really?
actually boil it and cook it on.
Mm-hmm.
Papaya is amazing. It is
I'm
also
sorry.
good.
Oh.
You can rub it and cook it on
Your meats.
meats.
Like if
okay.
you eat steak, I don't
I know
eat
you
it.
said beets because that's what I had last night. The beets with
Mhm.
papaya. So that's what I was like.
And
what did
so you
just say?
can. And so you can.
So your
So-
meat, so it can be a tenderizer.
It can be a tenderizer.
And the seeds are good too for inflammation.
So those people who do juicing,
Mm-hmm.
spinach, kale, and papaya, including the seeds, do your
Now, it says on here that papaya is recommended to be one such pick from the group of yellow and orange fruit, which promises abundant health benefits in the melon-like fruit and yellow and orange flesh dozen of small black seeds enclosed in skin that range in color from green to orange. Papaya has high nutritional benefit. It enriched with antioxidant, B vitamins, folate, pantothenic acid, and the minerals, and also potassium and magnesium and fiber. Together, these nutrition promotes the health of a cardiovascular system, also provides protections against colon cancer. In addition, papaya contains a digestive enzyme, papain, which is used like bromelain and a similar enzymes found in pineapples. It's also treated to support sports injuries. I love this. Others cause of trauma, allergies, vitamin C and A, and is made in the body from the beta carotene in papaya.
Diabetes. Beta
carotene.
That is the missing element as we get to be seniors. Our body stops producing it. So
Yes.
a papaya drink.
Yes, good for you. It also helps build up your immune system. You know, if you have an immune system issue, it also helps with ear infections, colds, and flus.
Teresa just asked that too. With the flu season in full force, what do we need to take care of ourselves? And William came back and told her cayenne and garlic, and I was also going to suggest zinc, but papaya is in our list of things for that papaya helps with as well.
You can make a papaya smoothie.
Yeah.
Make sure it's ripe. Seeds and all. You could actually put some green vegetables in it. A little cayenne pepper.
Yeah.
If you don't have, and you know what I have on my page, I was looking at one of my friends. His name is Des Seeley. Des is an amazing healer. So he gave a method of making a quick, healthy drink without using a blender. And what he said is, when I saw him do it, you take a strainer and you put whatever you want to do with it and rub it and get the juice out and run it, put it in some water and let it sit for a while and then strain out everything. And then you drink the water. He adds cayenne and He always has cayenne in it
Mm-hmm.
and spirulina.
Oh,
In it.
Spirulina is good. It's good too.
You know,
But
one that's not on this list, but when you were saying, steep it and drink it, someone else told me about banana water.
banana water.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that do?
Maybe we'll have to bring that back with our next episode.
Actually, I do have a
Yes.
thing in my packet of healthy foods and papaya.
We
bananas.
had another. There was another.
Our time.
Our time
We
is.
didn't, yeah, we
Oh wow. Okay.
didn't even cover all 9.
Yeah,
of the
'cause we got
ingredients
So
of
we're
chocolate.
down
the
to what?
tea.
Well,
How
they
many
got
do
the
we
prim.
have?
We got the crimson leaf.
Yes,
Also,
you need to drink
did we
lots
go-
of water.
we go with myrrh. We
And
didn't go
tea.
for myrrh.
We didn't
That's
go
it.
over
We
the
only have
myrrh. We
2.
didn't go over the
But see,
primrose leaves.
But the Vita
Persimmon.
tea, the tea Divina has also the chocolate and the Ganoderma lucerne and the GABA.
Okay.
So we need to go with those
so
next.
we'll need to. So Teresa,
Oh, we need to get
we'll
to the egg.
finish with the ingredients in the tea. But she's asking what else. So we need to drink lots of water. Yes, because the water will definitely keep your body cleansed and your fluid levels up. But tea, and then she asked what else. So
What else about what?
is that for the flu, Teresa, or just your body, for your health in general? Because the water, and my goodness, everything we just mentioned in this tea sounds like that's the winner right there. But
Yeah, because the water actually helps to loosen up everything that needs to go through your
yeah.
digestion. And that's part of the problem of people having these big bellies and having all this, because they're not
But
drinking a lot of water.
Exactly. A lot of
Enough.
cold also. So in
Yeah.
general, if you're drinking your water, and then last week we talked about your warm water to jumpstart your digestive system in the mornings,
And
we
also
talked
at
about
night.
with the lemon and the lime in it, because we know the benefits of the lemon. So as we shut down for today, we're gonna have to come back next week with the tea to finish the tea, and then get into the tea Divina ingredients. And then we were also supposed to be talking about an oil for the week. So we were going to talk about an essential oil, the purpose of the egg.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
So
The eggs.
I'm sorry, Teresa, we ran out of time today, but and then William is telling Teresa cranberry juice.
Well, let me say, because
gotta-
Teresa asked what kind or what brand. Let me say, first off, you get yourself some fresh cranberries and do your own juicing.
Yeah.
And if you're going to buy it from the store,
can't buy pure.
mine is the purest cranberry juice that I know of is Henson. Henson brand juices are amazing. They're all natural. They're and I've been drinking, when I was drinking juices, because I don't drink a lot of juices because of the sugar in them. The natural sugar in them is too much for my body. But Henson has a great brand.
Good brand.
Yeah, it is a very good brand. It's very clean. And also Adam and Eve. They're all natural too.
You know what? I stopped drinking juice also. I mean, even the other day when we were out and I had that lemon, I was like, oh, this stuff's strong. You know, I did a little Arnold Palmer and I was like, this is strong, because I've just been doing my tea, my waters, my pollen bursts,
Well, cranberry juice is good for women. Cranberries are good for women. So even if you don't drink the juice,
That urinary tract
eating,
infection.
because they do help with the urinary tract infection thing. But also water. If you drinking enough water, you're not going to get. Now with me, because I am, I take insulin, man-made insulin, because that's what works for my body. There are other people who take animal-based insulin. But for me, that didn't work, so I take man-made. So I have to drink a lot of water. And one of the side effects of using that insulin is yeast infections. So I have to guard myself by doing a couple of things, and this is for ladies only. One, when I have to go to the bathroom, I go all the time. I go immediately, and I sit there and crank it out. I sit there and put pressure on my bladder so that when I get up, there's nothing else left in my bladder. That's one way to eliminate urinary tract infection. Then drinking plenty of water, not juice with the sugar, but water
And she mentioned
and
ocean
lemon.
spray. Ocean spray has quite a bit of sugar in it.
Yeah, ocean spray is not all natural. Even the blend, when they say a blend, it's not. Even their 100% is not 100%. See, when they market these products, they can tell you anything. So look on the ingredients and see what's in it.
All righty. So that wraps us up for today. We do apologize that we were running out of time here and still have plenty left. I'd like to thank you all. Thank our listening audience, everyone that chimed in on Facebook, Periscope. Oh my goodness, in the community, on our personal pages. Thank you guys. Love you all so much. And it was even more fun, as you see, and more interesting when you chime in with us.
Can I say one thing? I need to advertise this. We are embarking on money exchanging.
Yeah.
Fiat currency and buying gold. Well, not buying gold, but exchanging our money for gold. Part of that process is something called the cash flow game from Rich Dads, Poor Dads. So look for our advertisement because we will be doing a cash flow game here. And when you come out to the oils, ladies, I have to tell you this right now. I will be at the cash flow game in Baltimore the same time that we're doing the oil treatment.
Oh, that's
so
fine.
those people who are coming out, I love you so much. Thanks for the support. Please come out so that you can find a management oil for your pain.
Yeah.
And they work. They are amazing. These oils give you in 8 minutes or 8 seconds?
8 seconds.
Relief. And I'm going to tell you how, just one more thing again.
Might want to give the address on Facebook.
Yeah. Look at the events. And what
like
is it
our
called?
Facebook page, Curves of Fort Washington, and that'll be on there for the event with the address and the phone number if you, along with the map if you need directions. Our next broadcast, we're going to be back next Sunday at 5 p.m., Teresa. So she asked for the next broadcast.
Yes, and don't.
It's
I'm
every Sunday.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And for the
And our
cash
page.
flow game, I love it. I love it. I started teaching my children when they went elementary school when the first cash flow game by Robert Kiyosaki came out.
Yes.
So it teaches you about assets and how you can build and grow your financial wealth. So stay tuned for more information with our upcoming events, like our pages. Our group Facebook page is Live Today Health Talk. Please like our page.
Not like it, join it.
Join it.
It's a group.
Join
It's
our
a group.
so that way you can stay plugged in with our different events and broadcasts.
Yeah.
All righty,
And
everybody.
have a good God week
How about that?
until we come back again.
And thank you for joining us on Live Today Health Talk.
See you later. Be blessed.